In a world where people believed clothes revealed a person's worth, one man's silence was about to expose the true meaning of wealth. On this particular evening, arrogance sat face to face with humility, and pride was moments away from being judged. Ella strutted into the restaurant with a confident laugh, her gold bracelets jingling like tiny bells meant to draw attention. Across from her sat David, quiet, neatly dressed, simple, and unbothered. But to Ella, simplicity was the greatest crime of all. "So this is your idea of a nice place," she teased, glancing around with a smirk. "I usually come here with men who wear suits, not thrift store bargains." David smiled softly, unfazed. "I just thought we could have a quiet dinner and talk." "Talk?" She rolled her eyes dramatically. "Please. You probably saved up all month just to bring me here." The restaurant hummed with soft conversation and delicate music, but at their table, Ella's voice sliced through the air with practiced superiority. David said little, yet every insult stung deeper than she realized. A waiter approached politely. "Good evening, sir, ma'am. May I take your order?" Ella snapped her fingers without looking up. "Yes. I'll have the lobster, truffle pasta, and a bottle of Chateau Margaux. The expensive one." David's voice remained gentle. "I'll just have the house special." Ella snickered. "Wow. So humble. Don't worry, maybe one day you'll be able to afford something better." A few nearby guests glanced over, some even chuckled at her cruelty. But David only folded his hands, letting the moment pass. "You know," Ella continued, "I deserve a man who can keep up with my lifestyle. No offense, but you look like you take the bus." "There's nothing wrong with the bus," David said quietly. "It takes you where you need to go." "Yeah," she scoffed, "but it doesn't take you to success." She couldn't know, that the man she mocked had built half the restaurants on that street. But David hadn't come to flaunt anything. He came to see who Ella truly was. "You probably don't even have a car," she said, twisting the knife. "I can't date a man who can't even afford valet parking." A burst of laughter came from the next table. David felt heat rise in his chest, but instead of lashing out, he merely smiled, a calm, quiet smile, hiding an ironic storm. "Oh no," Ella continued gleefully. "Don't tell me you're gonna split the bill." David shook his head. "No. I'll take care of it." The way Ella laughed made the waiter flinch. "Really? You? I saw how nervous you were ordering. You probably can't even afford this place." The waiter stepped forward as if to warn her. "Ma'am, please, he's—" "No, no," she cut in sharply. "Let's see this broke man's magic trick. Go ahead, pay." With quiet grace, David reached into his wallet and pulled out a sleek black card. The waiter's eyes widened instantly. "Mr. Lawson," he said in a reverent tone. I didn't realize it was you." Ella blinked. "Wait, what did he just call you?" David looked at her gently. "Lawson. David Lawson." A hush washed over the room. Every staff member knew that name. "Mr. Lawson," the waiter asked, "should I charge this to your corporate account, as usual?" Ella's face went pale. "Corporate account?" "Yes," David replied softly. "My company owns this restaurant, and a few others in the city." The room froze. Ella's smirk collapsed into disbelief. "I wanted to see who you were beyond the makeup, the filters, and the brands," David continued. "I think I got my answer." "David, wait," she stammered. "I didn't mean to." "You called me broke because I don't flaunt wealth," he said gently. "But you know what's really poor? Character." He turned to the waiter. "Actually, don't just cover our meal. Tonight, everyone eats on me." Gasps erupted. Applause followed. The staff smiled gratefully. Ella, however, remained rooted in place, her pride crumbling at her feet. David, please, she cried. I didn't know you were, who you are. I was just joking. You meant every word, Ella, he said, turning back to her. The problem isn't that you didn't know who I was, it's that you didn't care who I could be. Please, give me another chance. David looked at her with sad clarity. Ella, if I were still that broke man you thought I was, would you be standing here right now? She said nothing. Tears gathered, but no apology could undo what her arrogance had revealed. David walked away slowly, the applause fading behind him. He continued living his life in humble generosity, helping others who never judged him by his shoes or his shirt. And Ella? She learned a bitter truth: wealth isn't measured by money. Real riches live in kindness, integrity, and grace. Sometimes, the richest soul in the room is the one who never needs to prove it.